my name is Miss Kaduku and I have many jobs at the Regis School, but one of my main jobs is that I'm currently the head of English. And I'm going to be talking to you a little bit today about why English is part of the core, why it's not an option for you to take at GCSE, but why it is so important and why it is so much the foundations of your studies, your academic studies at GCSE. So in English you will take two GCSEs, English language and English literature. And they are part of the core along with maths because they form the foundation of the subjects that you will study. We will teach you about literature, about language, about how books have changed the world, how they have shaped the ideas of lots of people, and how you can empower yourself to use the English language to express yourself, to communicate your ideas, and to go out into the world and feel as if you can express yourself in the most articulate way possible. So come with me as I explain to you why English literature and why English language are so important, why they're part of the core, and why we study them. So I'll start off by showing you this quotation here. The impact of literature in modern society is undeniable. Literature acts as a form of expression for each individual author. Some books mirror society and allow us to better understand the world we live in. So we will study in our literature and language qualifications at GCSE Shakespeare, we'll study Charles Dickens, we'll study a range of poets who have managed to record their experiences from World War I, from World War II, from other major world events, and we will hear their perspective on what life is like, what they thought, what they believed, what they had hopes for, what they dreamt for, and it'll allow us to have a better understanding of society through time. And that's really what literature allows us to do. And we can't underestimate the impact that literature has had on modern society, on the way that we speak, on the way that we think. I'm going to show you some examples on the next slide. So if you've ever heard the phrase, "there's such a Scrooge," well, that phrase comes from one of the novels that we will study as part of our literature qualification. It comes from A Christmas Carol written by Charles Dickens, and the noun Scrooge is used in popular culture and conversation to describe somebody who hates Christmas, and we all know a Scrooge in our life. But the fact that that word has become part of popular culture tells you a little bit about how important literature is in shaping our understanding of the world. It helps us to have a lens to look through, to understand and interpret the events that happen in the world. If you've ever used these phrases, "I haven't slept one wink," or "been on a wild goose chase," or "I need to break the ice," then actually you are quoting Shakespeare. Those lines appeared in Shakespeare's plays, and you can see some more on the screen there. So we can't underestimate the power or the impact of Shakespeare on our language in the modern world, in the Western world. And in actual fact, we'll be looking at a play written by Shakespeare, and we'll be thinking about what that play reflects about life during Jacobean England. We'll be thinking about what that play tells us about the mindset of people living at that time. And so not only will we be looking at the words and the story, but we'll also be looking at the historical context. And because we know Shakespeare is so important, we want you to feel confident to be able to discuss that with anybody that you should meet in the world who has an understanding of Shakespeare. And Shakespeare is world famous. He's one of our greatest writers. So we want you to be able to feel confident to analyse Shakespeare's words and have that experience of his work too. So what else will you study in literature? So I've spoken about two things, a Shakespeare play and A Christmas Carol, but you'll also study a selection of poetry that looks at World War I poetry, World War II poetry, and contains lots of voices from authors, British authors, who are talking about their lived experiences. So we'll make you very confident to analyse those. And we'll also look at a series of unseen poetry, so you'll interact with lots of poems from lots of different people to try to understand what it's like to be human, living in the world, having experiences, having feelings, and hopefully you might see some of your own feelings reflected back there. We will also study English language, and we will teach you how to interpret implicit and explicit information, analyse language, and perhaps most importantly develop a critical voice so that you are able to interrogate all of the pieces of writing that you come across in your life, of which there will be many. So we'll make you critical, we'll make you be able to understand and interpret fake news, we'll be able to give you some transactional writing skills so that you can write to persuade, to argue, to convince, to inform. And will help you to be better creative writers as well. Now, all of these skills will be very practically applied as you leave school and as you go on into your adult working lives, whether you're going to own a business or whether you are going to write for a living. You will need skills of writing and communication at every point in your life, and we want to equip you to feel very confident to be able to express yourself in whatever way that you need or wish to. And English is not just about writing and reading, but it's also about creativity. The kinds of discussions and the ideas that we will present you with will help you to think creatively about problems, about issues, and you will respond critically to those ideas. So we'll present some pretty tough ideas in some of the text that we'll study, and we'll ask you to think about what your point of view is, what your opinion is, and then teach you how to express that in an ordered and coherent fashion. We'll look at a range of novels that are world famous, so you can participate in a world conversation about books and literature, and that you'll be able to understand how books and literature inform popular culture. Some of the things that we say or we do, we might not even realise come from those famous works of literature. And literature is part of our cultural ecosystem. It's part of popular culture. It's still growing, developing and changing, and we want you to understand where it comes from and where you fit within that. The English skills that we'll teach you as well will be cross-curricular. So we'll develop your skills of analysis, we'll develop your writing skills, and that will be applicable to a whole range of subjects across your GCSE offer. So we'll teach you how to write essays, how to be persuasive, how to write formally, and you can bring all of that knowledge into your other subjects so that you're able to express yourself well and coherently. And we'll also ask you to bring any subject knowledge that you have from other areas into what you're studying in English. So we'll operate across many skill areas and equip you to be a really fantastic student at GCSE and onward. Additionally, English is a subject that employers love. So whether you choose to go on and study English at A-level, and we hope that you do, or you go on to study English at university, which we also hope that you do, many employers want to see that you've got skills of communication, collaboration and critical thinking, and all of those skills are developed at GCSE. And English graduates are employed in a wide range of sectors, so if you're keen on going into marketing, publishing, advertising, business management, film or television, then your English GCSE is the first rung of that ladder. If you decide that you don't, well, then your English GCSEs open up opportunities for you to be able to go on and access either further training or study other A-level subjects. And it's why it's so important. You'll need to gain a pass in it to demonstrate that you've got those skills so that you could go on to study whatever it is that you would like to study in the future. So English is very close to my heart. It's something that I love to teach and I love to lead in the English department. If you have got any other questions about anything that we study or you'd like more information, then do come and find me. But we hope that you will enjoy your English literature GCSEs and your English language GCSE, because it is such a wonderful subject and will equip you with so many fantastic skills. Thank you very much.